Hello, dear friends, and welcome to Mini Mike Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, and may you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Nawaf Almadi. I'm an English teacher, a part-time blogger, and I like to research culture, books, and other social media trends on the side.
Oh, nice. Well, why did you decide to become an English teacher?
Thank you for the question. It's a very long story, but I'm going to keep it short. So, when I was young, I wanted to be like my mom, who is a medical doctor, okay? And mind you, I liked to read a lot of science books when I was young, but then later on that I found out that I enjoy helping people, especially when I had like peers who weren't so good in English and other subjects. And then by instinct, my cousin, who is an English language teaching supervisor at the Ministry of Education, she told me, Noah, you have the talent to inspire people by teaching them and helping them. Why not become a teacher? I mean, at first, I was kind of upset because I thought like being a teacher was like, oh, it's a boring job. I get to deal with students. But later on, it turned out to be quite fun. I even see my students not just as mere students. They're like my younger siblings too at work.
Well, actually, by the look of you, I thought first of all you were an art teacher.
Really?
Yes, I feel it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. My mom's side of the family, a lot of them are artists and go into creative careers, basically. So yeah, you can technically not wrong.
Yes.
Well, what's your favorite thing about teaching English?
Okay, funny story. When I started teaching my first class in 2021, this was practically after COVID. Now, remember that I graduated in 2020 during COVID. And my first class was so unique and it was very interesting because I expected students to be very bad at English. A lot of them were very shocked and the first question they asked me is like, Mr. Nawaf, are you American or half American? It's like, you don't need to be an American to speak excellent English.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah, and they actually amazed me that they told me that they studied English during COVID through, watching television shows, reading comic books and novels. And I was really shocked and impressed at the same time. But my most favorite part of teaching has to be teaching them vocabulary, like new words. And I love to incorporate new words in the form of stories, poetry, and sometimes even jokes. And it's easier for them to learn.
For me, usually, when I learn grammar, like I know the words, I know everything, but when I come to study it, I forget everything, and clearly, I only know what an adjective is. Which is a descriptive for a noun or a verb, something like this.
Yeah, so an adjective, Rtaj, is basically, these are words to describe things, describing people, objects, and even things or animals as well. But an adverb is the word that is used to describe how the action is working. And for example, he ran. We know that the action is running. But when we say he ran quickly, how was he running? Was he running slow or fast?
Yeah, so it's like describing the verb.
Yes, very good.
Well, the best part is you actually look like my English teacher too.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you so much. I feel very flattered.
Well, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened in your classroom?
Okay, I have actually many stories. Now, my favorite story is that I had this one student who liked to read ghost stories and spooky stories, okay?
That's me, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I love spooky stories and scary
Yes.
stories. So one time I was grading notebooks, and this student came to me. It's like, Mr. Nawaf, teacher, may I ask you a question? It's like, yeah, go ahead, Abdullah. And he told me, what's the difference between a spirit and a ghost? Okay, I mean, I actually held back laughter not because I thought he was not being smart. He was actually very smart, and that was the first question that seemed to be very, very intelligent. And then I explained to him later on that a ghost is basically a walking spirit that comes from an undead person. A spirit can come in different meanings, but the most famous meanings is basically an ethereal creature that walks around the earth.
Yes,
So they're basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but for now, we're just gonna go for a short break and come back. So, see you after break.
Pause. Unpause. And now we're finally back. But Mr. Nawaf, What's your favorite book and why do you like it?
Oh boy, can I choose more than one?
Yes, of course.
Alrighty. Now, like I said, I like scary stories. My number one favorite story has to be Beowulf.
Ooh,
Yeah, you guys know what Beowulf is?
I
No.
guess so, yeah.
Okay, so Beowulf is a Danish poem written as a story. And basically it's about a hero named Beowulf who came from Sweden and he came to Denmark because the king of Denmark, his name was Hrothgar. King Hrothgar loved doing big parties, and apparently there was a monster known as the Grendel who liked to attack the people of Denmark. Yeah, and then Beowulf came by to save Denmark, and then when he killed Beowulf, he had to kill and fight the Grendel's mother, known as the Grendel's mom. And then the final boss was a dragon, who would like to collect treasures and keep them in its cave. My second favorite story is Frankenstein. You know Frankenstein, the story?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very interesting novel.
Well, actually, from the story that I just said before Frankenstein, it reminded me of a book called Dogman. You know it?
I think I've heard it. Can you tell me about the story?
It's not a story, it's like comic books,
Oh.
and it's like about chapters. Wait, do you know Captain Underpants?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
He's the same author of Dogman.
Oh my god, yeah, Dogman and his partner, the cat,
Yes,
cat kid?
Kitty?
Yeah.
Yes, like that.
I've never read it, but I always see it in Jarir, and you know that's the
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ah,
I love actually two kinds of books, comic and scary.
really?
Well, do you watch anime?
Well, I used to, but I would love to watch anime again.
What anime did you used to watch?
Plenty. I mean, I'm a very, very old man, okay? Well, I'm an old man. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Me too.
Really?
Yes.
And, you know, Dragon Ball Z, Sonic the anime, like, okay, so Sonic the show, they had an anime version that was like in the 2000s. And basically most of the animes that appeared on Spacetoon, you guys know what Spacetoon is?
Yes.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So Spacetoon was part of my generation, okay? I was born in 1996. And during that time, Spacetoon like showed a lot of famous Japanese animes, and they would, you know, use Arabic dubs on them.
Yeah.
That's how it
It's
is.
like NBC.
Yeah, like NBC3 basically.
Yes.
Well, speaking of Sonic, I'm actually wearing Sonic today.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Ooh. Well, actually, I'm not that into anime. I would say cartoons more.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I like to watch cartoons even as an adult. By the way, even if you grow older like me, don't let people tell you that cartoons are for kids.
Yes.
Anyone can watch cartoons.
You're not a boomer anymore.
Oh yeah.
Well, who's your favorite character in a story?
Oh, that's a very, very difficult question. Well, I mean, I would say, okay, one of the reasons why I like Frankenstein's monster in the novel Frankenstein is because when you grow older, you get to understand that the monster, the Frankenstein's monster, he's a very, very philosophical creature. And the way he talks in the story, it's like he's being created for the first time. And the reason why people see him as a monster is because humans, naturally, are afraid of things they don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
It's one of the most interesting things about it. But the other, my favorite characters and stories would be definitely Beowulf. Yeah.
Wow.
And the last story would be the epic poem of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is like basically the ancient Iraqi version of Hercules. You know Hercules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, guys, actually, quick thing. You know the game Bloody Mary?
Oh yeah, I do.
It was named after the Tudors. That it was Mary the First, I guess. And she's called after Bloody Mary because she wasn't like a Tudor or like a queen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But for now, friends, we finished with our episodes for today, and thank you for coming.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Rtej. Thank you, Hassan.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So now, friends, we're finished with our episode, and see you next time. Bye.